Welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails through Daybreak, where last time we begin the final chapter after defeating Almata, and yeah, we have to think about what we will do regarding dissolving our
I hate getting sweaty, but I could get used to this.
whole employment situation, because Van says there won't be as many jobs as before in the foreseeable future.
The steam feels quite pleasant.
And he can't employ so many people anymore. But before that, we have still quite a bit to do, and so...
Ah, that was just what I needed.
You look nice and refreshed.
Hey,
we take our rounds.
What do I do?
Bulletin board.
Alright.
Looks like we got a 4 SPG. Problem child. My son Curtis has recently started behaving rather violently. I'm concerned he might have made friends with some bad eggs. I would like you to investigate what happened to him. I will explain things over at my house in Old Town. There's still a lingering scent. Gotta check the other bulletin boards. Ah, that was the boy with a broken family there.
heading to the objective.
Good. Nothing here?
What have we got?
Good, then. The Modi?
Well, if it isn't Van.
Working hard as usual, I see. The incident with A is still making waves. All my sources are still a buzz talking about it. Got any juicy info you wouldn't mind sharing? Of course I do. There's still some of A's gangsters out and about. It's quite concerning knowing we have some stragglers laying low in the capital. Yeah, it worries me too. Not Melchior, not worth a time. We should still keep an eye out, just in case we come across any information regarding their whereabouts. As long as it doesn't get in the way of everything else we're doing, it sounds good to me.
Now then.
Hey, Saara, Shaheena, and Fee! Hi guys! It's Saara and Shaheena! I see Sylphid's with you too. Acquaintances of yours. We met each other back in Farbot. Nice to see you, it's been a while. What brings you guys here? We bumped into each other in town, so I'm showing them around now. We have some guest role in director Gotti's new film, so we're invited to come here. You will be in director Gotti's next film? Congratulations! Be careful with that, Prof. Don't let them goad you into doing some skeevy scene or event. 2 of the actors are already keeping an eye, making sure they don't get in any trouble. I'm tremendously grateful to Judith and Nina. Actually, we were on our way to your office to say hi, Van. You got ahead of us there. If you have a time, feel free to stop by for a visit any time. I'm usually free during the day. We'll be staying until the Revolution Festival, so I'm sure we have a chance to visit. We'll make our reserve of special snacks for you. You mean my reserve, the ones I save for myself? Oh, you are saving those? Whoops, I ate all of them already. Son of a... Saara and I are planning on checking out all of Edith during our visit. And that includes the Arkwright Solution office. We'd love to swing by later. I really want to see what your workplace is like. I'm really grateful for this year's film festival. It might have been a little bumpy, but it gave me the chance to be in my first film. And on top of it, I got to meet you all. It's all the winged goddess's blessing. I owe it all to her guidance. I'm showing Saara and Shaheena around since we already know each other. Speaking of, I heard these 2 recently got into an agency. That's good, probably save them some hassle.
guess I'll check out the arena. But
Boss is gonna yell at you.
Jack and Haley. Water. I need water. I told you to take it easy on the hard stuff while you were here. You're not in our home turf. We can't expect them to make stuff the same here. Oh hey, didn't realize you two were in Edith. Looks like you're having a real fun time. Hey there, good to see you. We've been working like dogs on the broker stuff. I thought you could use a break and now here we are. Just having the time of our lives. So what dragged you two all the way here? You on my tail, I take it? Yep, we're trying to figure out how the underworld's changing now at Vergan, and you can really only do that on the ground. It's pretty calm so far, surprisingly. More than I expected. Maybe it's because the CID was so on top of the stragglers. Probably. Now that those smug pricks aren't running around, the underground's settling back down. Those drugs though, those will be sticking around for a while. It's a lot tougher to get those off the streets. That does make sense, so it's unfortunate. Actually, this chat just reminded me of something. I've heard whispers about some two-bit gangster who's on the run from the feds now, after he hit some work for those guys. Word is he's camping out somewhere in the Tyrol district. I don't have anything else to go on, but I figured you might want to know. The Tyrol district? Oh, that's a good tip. Appreciate it. Well, have fun, you two. Just try to stay on your feet, Jack, alright?
right.
I saw a ton of boost brands I've never seen in Langport or Morty's joint, so I decided to give him a whirl, and it was not a good idea. Oh, guys, I'm gonna be sick. You guys working right now? Nice, keep it up. Just don't work too hard, alright? No shame in taking a break every now and again. We've got lots of colorful folks down here already, and it's not even festival time yet. Hardly any point trying to babysit Jack here. It'll turn out like it always does. Maybe I'll just take a walk and see what's around here.
I like it. Seriously?
Everybody's scared shitless here. What's going on? Look over there. They have all fainted. What could have happened? Oh, I think I might know. Got a hunch these fools tried barking up the wrong tree. And I paid the price hard. Oh shit. That would explain it. If anything, they're lucky to have gotten off so lightly. Yeah! That group was gonna do it. These ladies are tough. Well, my friend, how wonderful to see you, and the rest of you as well. Good to see you, Your Highness. You sure roughed those poor bastards up good, huh? Oh, I had no hand in this. None whatsoever. You see, they attempted to make moves on these ladies here, but just wouldn't take no for an answer. They got physical and, well... These women were truly a force to be reckoned with. Even yours truly quivers before them. Hey, don't you think that's a little mean, Prince? I was simply performing my duties, nothing more and nothing less. Okay, but that doesn't explain why you all were hanging out. You guys make for one weird posse, however you slice it. A mutual acquaintance of ours was kind enough to put me in touch with His Highness. So I came down here to meet with him, but then... As fate would have it, she happened to run into us here as well. I'm on a break for once after wrapping up a job. I came into town to unwind until the festival, take in some of the local sights. Anyway, I wandered down here looking for a little excitement, I guess you could say. And I got everything I bargained for and more. This is too good to just be some kind of coincidence. Destiny must have brought us together. What do you say, Yin? This bodyguard? Want to go around? I think I'm good. Well, that sounds like a delightful proposal. Don't worry about me, Naje. I encourage, implore you to take her up on it. The things you say sometimes, Your Highness. I suppose I should just be grateful you're not thinking to throw down with her yourself. Oh, didn't mean to leave you all out, Van. You guys are more than welcome to... Yeah, no. We have this thing called work. Strange, I know. Damn, if I'm getting caught in the crossfire between those two, that ain't the kind of threesome I'm into. Ah, you know, fun. Oh well, there's always next time. Just don't burn the whole district down, alright?
For real?
Enough about me though. You guys look like you've got your hands full of things as usual, which I totally get. Can't take it easy just yet, but with a festival just around the corner, the fallout from everything with, you know. But don't you guys get a feeling there has to be more going on? I don't know what, but it's like there's something else brewing in there. Sure you're not just being paranoid? Keep talking like that and you're going to jinx us, girl. Oh. Never a dull moment with you, is there, Van Arkwright? What is it people like to say about you? That you have a nose for things? It reminds me a lot of the unclouded eye. Well, whatever comes our way, both in festival and beyond, I'm gonna take it all in stride and have a blast doing it.
Well,
I still don't get what you're doing down here of all places. I knew you were sorting some stuff out back home, but that's about it. My travels actually took me to President Rocksmith, as fate would have it. After what happened the other day, I wanted to assess the situation for myself. Fair enough. Thanks again for everything you did in Oasion. By the way, we really appreciate it. Agreed. Zao pulled his own weight, but you were the real ace in the hole. Yeah, I'm so glad we had you around when we did. You did great. Oh, no need to thank me. I just did what I could to help. I may have moved to Crossbar, but Calvert is still my homeland. I won't just sit by and let them ruin my home. I was happy to help however I could. Gotcha. Now it all adds up. I understand that you are on leave from your troop. Do you intend to return soon? I do, yes. I'm booked for a handful of events coming up. Once the Revolution Festival is over, I'll be making my way back to Crossbow. I also want to attend the memorial service for victims of Quail. I want to see for myself how the country responds. That's fair. Thank you for sharing all that with us. Sounds like you're gonna have your hands full once you're back in Crossbow. I'll be able to take it easy in the meantime. Be a little lazy like our local celebrity. Indeed. Her work ethic is admirable, albeit perhaps a little self-destructive. That's the plan, just take it nice and slow while I can. I really object to staying in this vulgar den. We have no further business down here, I say we leave post-haste. But as His Highness is wont to do, he'll be staying down here as long as he pleases. Before I forget, I wanted to mention that you might see a familiar airship above the skies of Edith in time for the festival. The Principality plans to make a big splash with it, all part of our effort to strengthen our ties with Calvert. You should receive more information on the details along. What, that airship, the one you were kind enough to lend me in Oasion? That's amazing. Man, subtlety ain't in your vocabulary, is it? Still, thanks for letting us know. We'll keep an eye out for that follow-up. I knew my time wouldn't be wasted exploring this district, but I wasn't expecting to find all this down here. Very curious indeed. Naje may grumble about being here, but deep down, I can tell she's intrigued herself. You should join us and watch. We would love your company, my friend.
Well, heading to the objective.
no rest for the weary.
Looks like we got a 4 SPG. Dingo's Legacy. My name is Cunning and I'm the editor-in-chief for the Gossip Melt. There's something I gotta tell you about Dingo Brat, who used to work here. If you're interested, come to the second floor of the Orbital Cafe. I'll make this an official 4 SPG, just in case. Wait. Anyway, let me have a look. Pest control of the park. Bracer Guild. We received reports that a dangerous monster, Genatos nubia, has appeared deep within the forest area of Dirk Memorial Park. Take care of this in the guild stat. I ain't smelling the usual scent, so I think the bulletin board hunt is over. Van? That reporter friend of yours used to work at Meld, right? The biggest gossip wreck in Calvert. I didn't know you were tied with the editor-in-chief. I'm not. Dingo mentioned him before, but I've never met the guy. Supposed to be a bit of a headache to deal with, so I tried to keep it that way too. But it looks like my luck just ran out. I really think we should meet him. Perhaps he might be waiting for us already. Walking to the Orbital Cafe shouldn't take us long. We should go and visit him when we get a chance, man.
no rest for the weary.
I know the guild can help.
You'll never believe what happened.
Our stores have a wide variety of fine goods for sale.
What? Inside?
We hope you...
Well, look who it is. I haven't seen you all since you were in Farbad. We weren't expecting to run into you here either, Director. How come you're with Lieutenant Kaela? Government asked yours truly to help with the ceremony's production. Makes sense, you did a good job of the film festival planning. Catastrophes notwithstanding. Don't act like you didn't help at all there. I could do without a do-over from our last festival. Please don't jinx it. I wouldn't worry so much. You're more than aware of the fact that you're finally rid of A. The odds of anything major happening are low at best. It's not improbable that there are remnants still out there, so security is still just as tight, as a precaution. You here to discuss unit placement then? That's right. The meeting's with us more than anything. We met you guys at Basel. It's good to see you again too. We're helping set up all the equipment for the ceremony. Oh yeah, you're all showing off some new stuff, right? Must be pretty busy then. Drowning in work more like. This isn't even my specialty, but here I am, slaving away. Though your sympathy does soothe my pain, Van. You don't mind if I call you Van, right? Course not. Good. You can call me Essie, just like Kato does if you want. That I'm gonna pass on. She gets real casual real quick. Will Professor Cronkite be in attendance at the unveiling? He'll be at the ceremony, but not much else. He's got his hands more than full with another project right now. Professor Hamilton will be here too. Esmeray, Kaela, mind hearing me out here? Oh? What about? You two are bursting at the seams of sex appeal. This was bizarre to you. It's everything I could have hoped for and more. What do you say we chase new heights of sexiness together? I'm far too busy to even consider the proposition. That's not a field I have much interest in, I'm afraid. What? Same as always. Given who we're meeting, I wished I had taken Judith with me. No. Oh well. Maybe she would have had input.
Good grief.
Oh, that's great.
Good. You really did come, not that I didn't trust Dingo at all. My name's Van Arkwright. I take it you're Melt's editor-in-chief? Yep, that's me. Me and Dingo go back about 7 years. He told me a lot about you. Sounds like you're real busy over in Erastian too. No clue what you're talking about. I thought there would be no reports about us being involved with it. There won't. The authorities are keeping it a secret. Those probably just saying that to get under our skin. Well, whatever. It's not getting an article, so I'm not interested. I called you here for one of those 4 SPGs of yours. Nothing more, nothing less. The gist of it is that I want you to help me look for Dingo's notebook. Oh? What's this about? You suspect he had a notebook containing information he gathered as a reporter? Or more like as an information dealer? Both, actually. I first heard about it a few weeks ago, just before we headed off to Krail. I could tell he was chasing a dangerous group of some kind. So I jokingly asked if he had a will ready yet. Oh. And look at us now. It didn't really occur to me, not even for a second, that this would happen to him just 4 days later. He laughed at it at the time and said one thing to me. The closest thing I have to a will is my notebook. I've left it with a trusted source, so if anything happens to me, send out a 4SPG about it. Wait a second. So this is a third memento of his, on top of a video and camera. We don't have that notebook ourselves, so... Sorry if that's what you were hoping for. Oh, I never thought you did, but I suspect you're the only one who can track it down. Dingo seemed to trust you more than anyone, so I suspect that's the way he wanted it to play out too. The authorities have got everything that happened in Krail down on lock, and the matter are dead and gone. So I can't imagine it would have anything worth writing an article about in it to begin with, which means it's not worth my while hunting down. But I can't just go and ignore his words about it. So here we are. I put up the money for you to find the thing, my last gift to him. So what's it gonna be, Spriggan? You gonna go find Dingo's notebook or not? Okay. We'll take the job. You got anything else you want to share? Maybe he said something more about this trusted source of his, for example? Yeah, I remember telling him that was nowhere near enough info to find the thing myself. The only thing he gave me was that it's with people who know about as much about my past as you do. Way to pique my interest. I wonder what Dingo's past was like. I've only heard bits of it myself. How much do you know? Even less than you do, I suspect. I know he used to live in Messeldam before ending up in the capital 7 years ago. That's about it. Wait, didn't Dantes act like he knew him?
It's been some time since we last met, Dingo Brad. Though we did cross paths in Tharbad, albeit briefly. If we exclude that little encounter, I haven't seen you since your days as a mere informant in Messeldam.
Yeah, and you were still Enrique's second in command back then.
Saying the two of them knew each other at length beforehand would be a fair assumption. Alright, we'll see what we can dig up with that info then. Good luck. Anyway, my break's over. I've got to get back to work on finding scoops for the festival. I'll give you my number. Just give me a call if you do find it. I'll wire you the money if you do. It can be my way of honoring Dingo's staff. Got it. We'll take it from here. So what's the plan here? We don't exactly have a load of info to go off of. Only clue we have is that it's someone that knows as much about Dingo as that guy does. That rules out Jack and Bermody, and Van obviously. Oh, and Van too. Yeah, any information dealer is probably out of the question here. So is anyone with as many connections as Van has. Jack, Bermody and I tried not to pry into his past either, mind you. But something must have happened between Dingo and Dantes while he was still in Messeldam. He left the city after whatever that was, ending up in the capital and becoming a reporter right after. Don't know any details, but I imagine we'll get out of this knowing a whole lot more than we came in with. We're gonna be unearthing what he tried to bury this whole time. All the burdens he carried by himself. Man, you don't look like you're about to back down though. Ha, no way. A job's a job and I'm nothing if I can't see this kind of shit through. But anyway, I can think of at least one person who'd fit the bill for this job that won't be a pain in the ass to meet up with. Oh? It's not an information dealer, mind you, but she was close to Dingo. I can't be the only one who's immediately thought of her. Oh! I suspect I see who you mean now. It does seem plausible that she might know something. Are we going to meet her then? Yeah, let's head on over to the Tidal Thames. Don't think a meeting with her will be all that hard to get, as long as she's not out of the office. Right. Ah, damn it, that bastard up and left us with a bill. Gotta be pretty sly if you're gonna be running the biggest gossip rack in the country. Well, it's the least we could do for him since he brought us to our attention.
Off we go.
That's fair.
Oh, interesting group. Nice little party you got here. Don't mind if I do. Well, if it isn't Aaron and the Arkwright crew, good to see you've kept well. Huh, never thought I'd see a bracer, a Heiui elder, a Marduk security chief and the CID's head all banded together like this. Kinda makes me a bit on edge though. Types on both sides of the law tend not to mix well. I assure you it's much less charged when you make it out to be. We're just exchanging information and confirming agreements. Please pay us no mind. Kazim, you look busier than ever, Mr. Alpha yet. Oh, I haven't seen you since Sebastian. We were actually just talking about how to go about cleaning up that mess. Taking care of the Armata remnants, you mean? Yeah, we've smoked up pretty much all the hideouts they'd left. We're taking our own measures, of course, mostly concerning Armata's trade and supply routes. The more problematic trade routes have been taken care of, and you will see to the rest. Bet that's just what you were hoping for. I did also uncover some artifacts I had been using, the charges handling those. Yes, Silas and Leon took care of that. That's one problem solved. Cool, nice not to have that looming over the festival. And that's why I'm here. The festival is a full support of a Kowloon group this year. That of course does lead to some overlap between us and Marduk. I'm here to make sure we don't step on each other's toes, so to speak. I can't tell you how much, I'm afraid. Only the general approach HQ is taking. You'll have to wait 3 days for more in-depth negotiations. Mr. Thorndike will be holding a meeting to go over our itinerary. Well, then you're right, now probably isn't the best time. Can't go jumping the gun. We're discussing all sorts of things from the looks of it. Yeah, nothing to do with us though. On the contrary, I do have some information you might find useful. We're still tracking down some Armata holdouts that have taken to the underground, along with some of the hate groups they used for their ends. Leftovers, huh? And Melchior's still on the run too. Can't count them out just yet. He pulls those thugs back up and we have Armata 2 on our hands. Indeed, he's quite a wild card. We haven't seen any movement from him as of late. But then that means he hasn't been contacting said remnants either. The guild's been working on exposing Armata's business ties. We wanna pull it all out by the roots. Elaine and some S-ranks from HQ are in charge of that. Gotcha, how's she doing out of curiosity? So I can't say for sure. She should be back tomorrow though. I'm sure she'd appreciate a nice warm welcome when she gets home. Butt out, buggo! Incidentally, the clamor in Langport has subsided for the time being. I hear your comrades may have been mixed up in all the chaos there. But I must say, those young men do inspire confidence in me. The future's in good hands with their types at the helm. Sid and my boys, huh? Good to hear they're doing alright. Might as well kick back with them if they're coming on down for the festival. I'm impressed you tracked down this little meeting of ours, Mr. Arkwright. As I heard, you have a keen eye and a sharper nose. At any rate, Ashen should be here for the festival. It would be nice if you could show her a good time. Yeah, it's been 2 months already. I can't wait to see her again. Yeah, I don't mind, as long as she keeps her opinions to herself. Set the pot to the kettle. I'm sure you're aware, but taking that group out of the equation was shaking things up here in Edith. Time for you to make good on your name, Spriggan. Yeah, was thinking that anyway.
Okay.
We'll be entrusting Armata's artifacts to the church, and the leftovers will fall under Hayu's jurisdiction. The CID and the guild should make quick work of what stragglers remain. Melchior is still a concern, being one of their most prominent leaders, but we haven't noticed any moves from him as of late. Not that we should write them off just yet. We need to stay vigilant. The guild's helping out where it can, but we still don't have things under control quite yet. Elaine should be coming back tomorrow. Make sure to give her a warm welcome, will you?
Off we go.
Oh, it's you guys. Great job, everyone. You're all really safe today back in Racian. Thanks, you were a big help too. Without you, I doubt we would have been able to get all those kids on the airship. I've noticed you've been keeping busy lately. Yeah, you could say that. I had a lot of investigating to do once those revelations about Racian came to light. And it was all worth it in the end. I feel like I'm finally making a difference. Good for you. Now Dingo's got one less thing to worry up there. I sure hope so. If I'm that much closer to becoming the sort of reporter he was, I'll take it. Oh, good to see you again. Need something from the paper? Not this time, we came here to talk with you, Marielle. I'll give it to you straight. We're working on a 4SPG involving Dingo and need your help. What? You are? What sort of a quest is it? Please tell me. To put it simply... You talked to Melt's editor-in-chief, Mr. Cunning. Dingo told me about him before, but I never had the chance to meet him in person. He said he wants you to find Dingo's notebook? That's right. Do you remember Dingo ever talking to you about that thing by any chance? Doesn't have to be anything direct or explicit. Anything you happen to remember him saying will help. Actually, didn't just talk about it before. I've seen that notebook with my own eyes. Say what? How did that happen? As I'm sure you all noticed when he was alive, I tended to barge in on him while he was trying to work and stuff. One day, while we were having lunch, I was asking for advice on how to interview people. He was writing stuff in his black leather notebook. I asked him what it was, since I was curious. He told me it's where he jots his info down, both for his reporting work and info broker stuff. That certainly sounds like the right notebook. At least now we know it's real. Got a little whiny and tried to get him to show me his notes, but of course he refused. When I got huffy about it, he kind of laughed and patted me on the head. I still remember exactly what he said. Who knows, maybe you'll get a peek at them one of these days. Although if I play my cards right, you shouldn't ever have to. Oh wow. He must have already been preparing for what might happen to him in that case. If that's the way he was talking, then we can probably rule out him taking the notebook with him to Krail. The CID also apparently swept through his place and couldn't find any real material of note that he left there either. He had to have either given it to someone else to hang on to or stashed it somewhere for safekeeping. Which brings me to my next question. Can you think of anyone he would have left that notebook with? Or anyone who might have known where it would be? Again, it's okay if you don't know anything definitive. Any lead you might have would be great. And just to be clear, I don't mean other brokers like Mamodi. I'm talking about other sort of acquaintances he had. Right, of course. Let me think. Based on what Mr. Cunning told you... Wait, could he have... You think of something? Maybe. I could be completely wrong, but I can't rule it out either. Basically, when Dingo was alive, he would sometimes cover the adult industry for Melt magazine. He did? That's interesting. I guess that comes with being a tabloid reporter. What's the adult industry? Doesn't every industry have adults in it? It's code for grown-up stuff. Certainly more grown-up than his wannabe protege here, that's for sure. Anyway, one time I confronted him about it. Do you really have to cover such sexual stuff in your articles? If readers demand it, it's our job as reporters to give them what they want, plain and simple. Plus, it's a way to get information that can help shut down some of the nastier illegal places run by the Mafia. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Say, out of curiosity, do you ever visit those sort of places yourself? Only when I need to for work. Lately I've been too busy to go to any place like that myself, so I've had to lean on one of my old contacts a lot to get what I need. Not exactly ideal, my job is supposed to be to report on things I see myself, but it is what it is. Fair enough, I guess. You sure won't hear me complaining about you. Complaining about what? Nothing at all. Anyway, who is this contact you mentioned? Ah, she's a woman who operates underground, runs a handful of outlets. Pretty talented, all things considered. Your contact is a woman? Yeah, why does that matter? You've got to introduce me to her. It'll help me write better articles. Yeah. Unfortunately, Dingo said it was too soon for me to be going to a place like that, and that was that. Looking back on it, there's only one part of town he could have meant when he said she worked underground, huh? Yeah, I think that one goes without saying. Not only that, I think I just might know the woman he's talking about. Never would have guessed those two had any history, but just goes to show it's a small world we live in. I certainly remember there being a business that fit the bill when we're down there. Does that mean we're going to the Blacklight district? Yeah, who knows if we turn up anything down there, but it's worth a shot.
Hey, you guys? I want to go with you. Could I? Please?
I don't know. Yeah, it gets kind of dangerous in the Blacklight district. Oh, I already know how dangerous it can be, believe me. But we're talking about Dingo's notes here. What's inside them matters to me, you know?
Who knows? Maybe you'll get a peek at them one of these days. Although if I play my cards right, you should never have to.
She does have a point. What do you think, Van? Alright, you can come. You did give us some valuable info, so it's only fair. But you gotta promise two things. One, you stay behind us down there. No running ahead. And two, you carry your own weight and help us out, too. Deal? Deal. Thanks, Van. I promise you won't regret this. Marielle has temporarily joined the group.
Go, go, go!
Seriously? I like it.
Wanna get a drink together?
You won't hear me complaining about Armata getting the boot, but we've got tons and tons of festival goers trundling around in the place now. It really is not best for business when rowdy types come along. Hopefully they mind their business. But there are so many deterrents in play now, maybe I won't have anything to worry about. Who can say?
Can we talk?
Oh, it's you. You know, I thought I knew you well, but I had no idea you and Dingo went so far back. Level with me here. You were the one helping him investigate Armata's illegal adult business, weren't you? Yeah, that's right. We must have worked together for a decade, I want to say. We both had to keep it on the down low in order to operate freely, though. He and I had known each other since we were both up in Messeldam. That long, huh? Guess it makes sense. If you don't mind my asking, how did the two of you, meet? Oh, it wasn't anything special. He was a newly minted intel broker, and I was your common whore making ends meet out on the streets. We had a nice little thing going. He'd buy information I coaxed from our clients, and I'd do him some favors in kind. He scratched my back, I'd scratched his. Huh, that's all news to me. Can I assume that Dingo hadn't started doing any reporting work back then? More or less, I would say, for an errand boy working underground, he had a certain naivety to him back then. Maybe because he was still so young. I had an acquaintance who worked at a local paper. I remember he was pretty intrigued about that side of things. I also mentioned it was 8 years ago when I made the move to Edith and set up shop down here. But before I left, he gave me some top secret information as a parting gift. His intel and his connections have been a huge help to me. Ha! Leave it to the lady killer to schmooze his way into the underground. He really helped a lot of people while he was alive, didn't he? Indeed. Later on, after everything went down in Messeldam, that's when he ended up drifting into town. Personally, I was happy to see him make a clean break and get into a better line of work with better people. You never know what life has in store for you. Maybe the goddess took a liking to him and threw him a bone. Maybe so, yeah. Sorry to interject, but what happened to him in Messeldam? Didn't know any of that. I wish I could tell you, honey, but it's not really my place to stay. That all happened after I left, so I only heard things through the grapevine. But I won't leave you empty-handed. If you're looking for his notebook, I've got some information I'd be happy to share. Will you do that? Oh, thank you so much. Just to clarify, we're looking for this black leather notebook he used to carry around. You've seen it before, I take it? Shahaf, he's been looking for a place to stash it away. I offered to hold onto it myself, but he turned me down. Can't blame him for being so cautious when he was going up against Armata. But I did hear him mutter about asking someone for help on his way out of town for a piece. It was 3 days before everything went down in Crail for reference. Holy cow, what timing! That's a valuable clue there. Actually, now that she mentions it, how did Dingo get to Crail? Do you have any ideas, Van? He had this tiniest car, but he never drove it all that much. He was always paranoid of people following him. Usually he took a train or bus when he had to go out to the sticks. Probably flew a bit from time to time too. But I don't know what he did there. Same, we're talking about a guy who knew all the tricks by that point. He might as well have just been moving randomly. He sure as hell wouldn't take something as obvious as public transit. Not when Armata had eyes everywhere. Exactly, I think we can rule out his car too. That would have carried its own risks. Thinking realistically, probably would have... Bike sounds unlikely. Hitchhiking is risky, rented a car wouldn't help, I think taking a taxi maybe? I think chances are pretty good our guy took a taxi. Sure as hell ain't cheap, but it would give him the lowest profile and the most flexibility. They blend right in on the road. Oh, good thinking. You might be onto something, Van. Taxis are pretty commonplace, especially for people heading out of town. There's no way Almata could have been motoring every single taxi running in Edith. If that were the case, what sort of taxi would he have taken? Presumably one with a self-employed driver instead of a company, no? That's a good point. A self-employed driver would have given them more flexibility. So the guys have your next lead. I have no idea who the driver could be, unfortunately. Maybe it was one of his friends? My guess is he had a driver he hired on the regular, someone you could trust. That ring any bell for you, sweetheart? You know something? It actually does. Remember, Dingo would sometimes hail a taxi to get to a reporting site. He mostly took one that had this black and yellow checkered pattern around the bottom. The driver was an eccentric guy too, from what I recall. Oh well, that's really good info. Glad you were able to remember that. You said it. We'll have to look into that once we're done here. Anyway, thanks for the chat, mistress. I'll pay you back sometime. Yes, thank you so much. You have no idea how grateful I am. Oh, don't mention it. I owe Dingo that much. That said, you can always repay me by coming back here to play. You know, don't forget that. But yeah, Dingo would tell me stories about you too sometimes. The punk-ass Spriggan and the newbie reporter he had befriended. I do hope you're able to track down his notebook. If there's anyone out there he'd want to inherit it, I have to imagine it would be you two. Thank you. We do our best. We're sure as hell gonna try. Be ways to just let it go after doing all this work for it. A taxi with a black and yellow checkered pattern. I know exactly which one that is. I had no idea Dingo was a regular. I see that car out by Central Station a lot. Dora's probably out for lunch right now though. Let's check the food stalls first, see if we get lucky.
What are we waiting for?
Well,
Oh, that car has a checkered pattern. That's gonna be it. That's a taxi. The driver's gonna be close. Let's sniff him out. Yeah, we missed that food stalls was the only one in Satan.
Something?
I love this place. Can't have real Eastern soba without the wasabi. How about it, brothers? Can you take a seat and throw one back with your boy? Sorry, gonna have to take a rain check on that. Got some stuff to do today.
Let me ask you something.
Ask you a question, for example. Oh, well, if isn't a big boy with a cute girl hugging his arm. Never thought you'd ask me about that name and notebook. Wonders never cease, huh? Huh. Looks like we found our guy. So what is you scratching Dingo's back every now and then? Yep. May not look like it, but I used to run all over the Republic taking odd jobs on the down low. I was on this smuggling run once and bam, I bumped right into him. That's how we met. That must have been 10 years ago? Dingo would have been around 20, I think. Alright. So do you know how we got tangled with Almata back then too? Oh my boy, do I ever. That was I let him to ask me for help out of a city that day. I snuck him out just like that. He hopped on a bus for Kaela and that was the last I saw of him. In retrospect, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have let this dump ass do that. It wasn't your fault, Giordano. Don't beat yourself up over it. You weren't the one who killed him. It was Almata, not even. Dantes owned that. The shitheel. You're right, yeah. I heard he got what was coming to him at the old capital. I bet Dingo was laughing up there. I'm happy Karma came around for the bastard. I hope it makes him feel better. He really regretted being the guy's broker in his past. Dantes really wasn't the same guy once he took over. So that's his background, huh? Not trying to justify him, but Dantes used to have a good rap on the streets. He had a code, and he stuck to it, and that lets people trust him. No wonder he ended up so popular with how much everybody hated the head honcho before him. He got Dingo, hook, line, and sinker. Dingo was his informant, fed him the info he needed to bring the old guy down, and now in his stead, we have this monster he built. A monster, you say? A fitting title for him. I'm not too privy on what happened beyond that, so I don't want to speculate. So you're looking for Dingo's old notebook and you think I've got it? Bingo. Please, may I please have it? Well, I'd love to give it to you, but I'm afraid I can't. Why not? Is there something you want done first? What? Pretty boy say it was for your eyes only? Well, he told me to keep an eye out for the Spriggan guy and the newbie reporter. If anything happened to him, he wanted me to give this here key to whichever of you two I bump into first. Oh. So what is this key for? Looks like a key for a station coin locker, like you'd see around the subway. Spot on, he said he stashed it in the easiest locker he could find. I'm not sure what he meant by that though. I have no idea which station it's at. Got it. The easiest locker you could find? Where would it be? Well, that's about gives it away. Oh, could it be the one by Van's office? Probably. Let's head on back and take a look. Thanks a bunch, Giordano. Maybe I'll make it up to you with a joyride one of these days, when I feel like it. You just call me anytime you're plastered, and I'll be your DD. Subway entrance?
Go, go, go!
What do I do?
That key we got from the driver probably goes to one of the coin lockers here. What do you say? Should we check what's inside? Absolutely, I'm ready. Okay, let's head in. Maria and the others found the coin locker tucked away in a corner of a subway station. They located the one that corresponded with the key they held, finding a black leather notebook inside. The group then proceeded to move to a quiet location in order to inspect the contents of the notebook. The office. This is something, alright. I didn't get to talk to Dingo much, but I know for a fact that he was an outstanding man. Indeed, not just anyone could pursue Almata to the degree he did, without backup. It was probably his way of making amends for the role he played in Dante's rise to power. These notes mention how the previous boss's family was murdered too. Even they didn't get spared. That's horrible. Such a heavy burden for him to carry. But that wasn't his fault. He couldn't have known that's what would happen. I can't imagine he felt like he could be in the public eye anymore after that. And that's why he took me under his wing. A good-for-nothing rookie. It appears he compiled quite a few notes about the ringleaders we took down in Erasian as well. Yeah, let's take a look. Viola, gender female, age 26, originally from a minor noble family in the Kadas region in the Central East. Her family fell into bankruptcy after Kadas' annexation by Valles, Viola herself being sold off to a wealthy merchant so they could make ends meet. She soon fell into the hands of a criminal organization that was targeting the merchant. Though initially nothing more than a plaything and object of pleasure, she eventually managed to oust the boss and wrestle control into her own hands. Her brutal leadership reputation precedes her. When 2 years later the group tried to expand their influence to Calvert, they caught the attention of Almata. Conflict with them was brief as they were quickly obliterated by Dantes, to whom Viola swore loyalty afterwards. As a consequence of her turbulent past, she's incredibly dependent on Dantes, which might be the reason she harbors a fierce rivalry with her fellow Melchior, their positions equivalent within the organization. Though the body of her needle gun was produced by Zect Arms, the full piece is not a part of their official lineup. Further research regarding the origin of her weapon is needed. Alexander, male, age 35. Born in the former Principality of Northumbria in northwestern Zamuria, he was 5 years old when the Salt Pale appeared, sowing chaos in his homeland. Him and his father, then protectors of a ruling family, fled alongside Prince Balmund when he fled the country. Spent most of his childhood and adolescent years in the free city of Taslam. Trained by his father in the traditional military arts of their homeland, he served the former ruling family until the age of 25, though his life was soon thrown into chaos. His father and he were both ordered to retake Northumbria following the death of a Northern Jäger's figurehead, the current ruler since Prince Balmund's escape. After the assault on Northumbria's capital Halle, they managed to seize and control the city for a time, acting as its effective government before being overthrown by the Northern Jägers. This ensued a massacre of the remaining civilians in Halle, mandated by the crazed former Prince Balmund. Standing in opposition with one another, Alexander and his father dueled to the death. Alexander emerged victorious before withdrawing from the battlefield. Though his current whereabouts are unknown, it's believed that Prince Balmund was swiftly and secretly executed by the Northern Jaegers following his capture. Wandering from one court to another, Alexander was eventually scouted out by Dantes himself and brought into a leadership position within Armata. Though outwardly austere and restrained, he is merciless in combat and sparing none who dare to cross him. His ulterior goal being the search for his final resting place, he has rejected any attempt at persuading him to leave Almata. Despite mechanized gauntlets he wields not being part of the official lineup, it does appear that they were developed by Zect Arms. Again that name. Olympia. Gender female, age 19. Little is known about her, although she allegedly hails from a remote village hidden in eastern Zemuria. Rumors say the entire village was comprised of heretical puppeteers who worshipped a doll made in the image of an angel. Thought to be an artifact of some sort, the doll was looked after by a medium. The villagers' gruesome customs mandated that those close to a medium were to be offered as sacrifices. These sacrifices spared no one, not friends nor family. Though soon tragedy befell the village, leaving Olympia and the doll alone to wander the continent after the demise of all they knew. Multiple records suggest instances of criminals being slaughtered when encroaching on a wandering pair. She was later induced into the Gardens, the assassin organization, and made overseer of a Garden of Aurum. Though it appears she's been mostly left to her own devices after being invited by the other overseers, these including Melchior and the Emperor. If I were to guess, the incident that took place in her village led to her and the angel developing a psychologically interdependent relationship, resulting in her autonomy and emotional expression diminishing. In light of a crisis that made the Gardens join forces, she may have a chance to reclaim that lost capacity, albeit an incredibly slim one. Aria, gender male, age over 150? In contrast to the known, confirmed leaders of Almata and Garden Overseer, eyewitness reports of him are few. What we do know of him, the Garden of Rust's Overseer, is that he is a very dangerous man clad in heavy armor. Much of the information about him stretches belief, including how he was supposedly born in a different time period altogether, over 150 years ago. If he was, he is said to proceed from a mythical Holy Iskan Empire, an enormous nation believed to have laid just across the Tian Shan and Giscard mountains to Calvert's east. This empire is presumed to have vanished following a calamity 130 years ago. In its heyday, 9 groups served to protect the royal imperial line. Eastern sources indicate that he was a warrior who represented the Rahu, a tribe of white descent hailing from the west. I'm inclined to believe it's all bullshit, but in an age where immortals like the Lance Maiden can exist in Arabonia, I can't rule out the possibility of there being some truth to it either. Whether it's true or not, evidence might suggest that his armor and his strangely shaped battle axe might be artifacts. Considering his joining the Gardens and the stories claiming his immortality, this might be highly likely. On top of that, he's a primary suspect regarding the Eisenshield's annihilation in the outskirts of Krail, though I still can't state that for a fact. More information needed. Melchior, gender male, age 21. One of Armata's 3 pillars and quite possibly its most evil and sinister member. He doubles down as the Garden's ringleader and overseer of a Garden of Thorns. Melchior's skills don't fall behind any of his artifact-wielding peers, being highly skilled in the use of the Orbital Net and being capable of infinitely spawning and freely controlling explosives. Beyond that, he also acts as Almata's main strategist and Dantes' right-hand man and confidant, and possibly his lover. Though his past is shrouded in mystery, his origins might trace back to the same organization the Oathbreaker, one of Ouroboros' angriest, also comes from. The Order of a Moonlight Horse existed since the Middle Ages, and the Oathbreaker sat among its top brass for the longest time before losing to Ouroboros and switching sides. He's an entirely different matter and a major threat all on its own. Wrapping this back around, Melchior might have been a direct subordinate of the Oathbreaker before going on to take in the scattered remnants of that infamous cult. If that's true, it would make him something of a prince of the underworld. For someone as powerful as him to idolize Dantes so much is nothing short of ominous and concerning, to say the least. Another thing that concerns me is him staying in Krail's vicinity following the Eisenshield turning into ghouls. Krail's not just some sleepy village with beautiful vistas. More than a touristic spot, it lies stuck between several forces working from the shadows. It also happens to be one of a few places in northern Calvert with a sizable eastern and central eastern population. Knowing the source of Armata's financing... Actually, I'd rather not speculate any further. And last, Dantes. Gerard Dantes, male, age 34. If I let my feelings take away, Dantes could fill every single page in this notebook. There's not a night where I'm not overcome with regret, but this notebook is not meant for my personal thoughts. Most things I've come to learn about him in his life are at least a little eyebrow-raising. Him being a member of a DG cult before joining Armata, being related to Calvert's old royal family, perhaps even a direct descendant. The tales of his sword are equally as hard to believe. A gigantic blade of black and silver, thought to be an artifact hidden by the royal family. This demon blade was the instrument with which he slew Enrique, Armata's previous head. Hard as these tales are to believe, their true purpose is to strike fear into the hearts of those who hear them, to make Dantes nothing short of a living manifestation of shadows and agony. Deep as the abyss and equally as alluring, his unquenchable thirst for fear is what draws many to him. Seductive and enchanting, it has earned him many loyal followers. But where does such an unfathomable hunger come from? A new hypothesis surfaced recently which might finally explain things. Its source, however, is a little unusual. I'm not particularly keen to take it at face value. But that's neither here nor there. The more pressing matter is his goal in Basel, and that him and the others might have been after something else. His true goal, I imagine, fear. The want and need to bring about true dread and terror to the masses. He wasn't able to achieve it even with the help of a genius, but that will not put a stop to him. He has about nothing to achieve his mission. Looking into this matter should take priority. Regardless, he sure managed to pull a fast one on me and Farbert. I was distracted by that call, but that's no excuse. I should have seen through him much sooner than I did. But try as I might to stay one step ahead, I'd rather be hot on his heels.
At this point, I've worked out how I'm going to get everything recorded, as well as how to leave these notes behind. Now comes the real showdown with him. It's going to be the biggest gamble I make as both a reporter and an information dealer. If, by some sheer miracle, I make it back in one piece, I'll absolutely be following up on those theories I've written about. I can already imagine the hell I'm in for with that dope of a Spriggan and that cub reporter. I really do worry about her. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's just part of the fun.
Dingo. Dingo!
You dumbass. Who's the real dope between us, huh?
This dude was totally nuts. How the hell did he find it in him to go that far? I can only imagine his love and care for others spurring him on to gather this much information. He was both a clever and kind man. And he wasn't just trying to make amends or settle a score. I don't doubt he genuinely worried for everyone's future. It goes without saying, but it's a true shame he was taken from us far too young. I'm so glad you two were able to find his notes. Likewise, it must have been in the will of a goddess. Once Marielle collected herself, the party drove her back to the Tyroltons. After reporting their success to Editor-in-Chief Cunning, they got back to work. As for Dingo's notes, once the contests were copied, it was decided that Marielle would hold on to the originals for safekeeping.
Mission accomplished! Great job, you guys!
Ha! Love to see it.
Reward deposited.